The check curled like paper skin as the fire kissed its edges. She held it between two fingers, graceful, careless, like she was tossing a cigarette into the wind. It wasn't the flames that made me still. It was her eyes, flat, cold, daring me to react. $28 million gone in a flick of her wrist. She didn't say a word, didn't need to. Her smile was surgical, precise. I didn't stop her, didn't flinch. I just smiled back. Because what she just burned wasn't money, not really, not the kind that mattered. The will reading was supposed to be a formality. Everyone already assumed the old man would leave his empire to his favorite granddaughter, my wife. She'd been orbiting him for years, doting, laughing at his old war stories, managing his medications like some twisted audition for sainthood. But when the lawyer slid the check across the table, to me, not her, the temperature in the room shifted. She laughed at first. "Cute," she said, voice lilting like poisoned honey. "You're not actually giving him control of the estate, are you?" The lawyer blanked. "It was your grandfather's final instruction. Everything goes to your husband," he said, and I quote, "He's the only one who sees through people." That was the moment. Her hand gripped my thigh under the table. Not support, warning. That night she lit candles, poured wine, touched me like nothing had changed. But her phone kept buzzing in her pocket. She didn't check it, because I was watching, because she already knew I knew. I started counting her lies. I stopped at 50. A name kept showing up in her texts, Jay, always deleted before I could see more, but not before I mirrored her phone. She changed her passwords. I changed them back. She hid her burner in the linen closet. I let it ring during dinner. I never asked, never confronted. Instead, I became everything she thought I was: docile, dull, distracted. I let her believe I was still that fool she married. I watched her leave for yoga. She returned flushed, sore, reeking of hotel shampoo. She kissed me on the forehead, told me she missed me. I smiled. At night, I stared at the ceiling, her breathing soft beside me. I imagined how many secrets could hide inside a kiss, how many lies were tucked beneath her skin. The camera footage arrived 2 weeks later, time-stamped, clear, her and Jay, in a hotel room less than 10 miles away. Not once, 7 times. Different days, same lie. I watched them frame by frame. Then I watched her sleep beside me, her mouth parted slightly, murmuring dreams I would never be part of again. I printed the images, slipped them into an envelope, sealed it in red wax. Then I waited. Waited for the will reading. Waited for her to burn the check. Waited for her to smirk, certain she'd won. And then I handed her the envelope. She opened it slowly. The color drained from her cheeks. The silence stretched thin, long enough for everyone in the room to feel it. She looked at me. I didn't blink. "I know about Jay," I said quietly. She flinched like I'd slapped her. Her voice broke first. "You were never supposed to see—" "No," I cut in. "I wasn't. But your grandfather did." She froze. I leaned forward, voice low. "He hired a private investigator, months ago, when he saw you for what you were. He left the fortune to me because he knew you'd sell your soul for it, and he wanted to watch it burn." Her hands trembled. "The check you lit?" I smiled. "A replica, a test. I gave you the match." She stood, breathing hard. "I loved you!" "You loved the money," I replied. "And now you have neither." She looked at the others in the room, her mother, the lawyer, the family, searching for sympathy. They looked away. I stood slowly, slipped the real check from my coat pocket, untouched, and walked out. I didn't hear from her again. I assume she crawled back to Jay, Or someone else dumb enough to mistake her poison for perfume. Doesn't matter. I bought a house in the mountains. Silence lives there. It doesn't lie. Sometimes I still see her in dreams, but I always wake up smiling. She thought she burned my fortune, but she only lit her own ending. Some fires you don't put out, you just watch them burn. From a distance, warm, and finally free.